Next thing we're going to cover is power tools. But oddly enough, the most powerful tool on the table is actually this level. And the reason I say that is if you don't level in the very beginning, get your floor level and your walls plumb, all these other tools are going to do nothing but nail in place the mistakes that you started with. So keep in mind, the power, believe it or not, lies here. Now we're going to show you the power tools that are available.
We need to treat this gently too. Don't knock it around because that's your accuracy right there. Lost. Now I noticed that we've got two saws here. Do you want to explain the difference in those two saws?
One is considered more of a framing saw. It's got a really heavy ability to do a ram cut, just cut through just about anything. It's called a worm drive. And this is a heavy duty saw, usually heavier in weight as well. And also notice that it cuts on the blade is on the left side. This one cuts with the blade on the right side. That comes in to be important when you're in tight spaces. If you're a right-handed person, this is the one you're going to want to use most because it puts you right there where you can see that blade as you're cutting down the edge of it. As opposed to the other one, you have to switch around and use it the other way.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference.
That one's very
Admittedly, that's a left-handed man's saw, right-handed man's saw in the sense of where you're going to be most comfortable with.
Totally.
Different kind of power. This uses air, and for air, we need a hose and we need to connect to an air source. That air source is dun, dun, dun.
Pneumatic compressor. This is a pretty good size if you're building a house. You can see it's got two outlets, so you can actually run two air tools at once off of it. It'll go up to 150 PSI, which is plenty for us. It's really nice and portable. It's actually not very heavy at all, so that makes really a breeze to kind of move around. And we've got some big ones over here that are way more than your average sort of tiny home builder would need.
All you need, this covers your nail guns generally, and power tools that you're going to use on the job normally. Now, one thing to remember, always drain this at the end of the day. All the pressure that's in here, drain it out because there's water in there, condensation that occurs whenever you take water and compress it, the humidity ends up inside of your tank. The nail gun that you're using in this case also has a clip on the corner, and that's that you can hook it on your nail belt. I told you these nail belts get heavy. This is about 8 pounds of heavy right here, and that's before you stack the nails in it.
That one's also that same thing. If that will fit on a 2x4 right there, so you can rest it on your work while you're doing it. That's
right.
Really handy.
But when you're bouncing around like this and you need to put it down, you need to climb on it and hold the rafters. Yeah. That baby goes on your belt. So when you have those shoulder straps, it makes a huge difference. That shoots one of two types of nails, depending on which gun you have. This particular type of nail comes on plastic or some sort of glue coat or something like that and tends to drop a bunch of trash. And you can only load 50 nails at a time. This one, every clip is 50 nails, and the old guns will load 3 or 4 of these. Now, if you like to carry a lot of ammo with you, paintball or otherwise, you're going to want to carry the old type of gun. It shoots a wire. It's called a wire welded nail versus a plastic, and I personally prefer this.
And there's another difference between these two nails. These are smooth, and then this is ring shank, isn't it?
Well, and there's another factor on this too, and there's the reason you have to have the plastic. In some parts, particularly near the coast, they require that you use a full-headed nail as opposed to a clipped head nail. Now, a clipped head nail, you'll notice, does not have a top on one half of the nail, and that's so the nail gun can shoot them off of this end and have less space and cram more nails in that row. On this one, it's a full round head nail, and they require that where there's a lot of storms, a lot of hurricanes and stuff, because it'll hold the wood better because it has a full-size head on the nail. In this case, it also has a ring shank nail, and it has a cement at the bottom. Cement-coated nails, both of these are cement-coated nails, will hold much better, and absolutely, by far and away, are better than a box nail hand-banged in with any kind of hammer you can come up with. You'll never get them to go into the old wood that we use. Now, if the nails aren't good enough, you need something a little bit extra strong, then that is the ceramic-coated 3-inch and 2.5-inch screws. And what is our favorite type of screw?
Star drive.
The star drive and Torx heads are called. There are two types that we use, and the reason we use these is they don't twist off or break off. A Phillips head screw, you'll end up stripping it off, your tool will break out. It just won't hold up under the wood and the kind of stress we put it under. These are also made to go outside. They'll tolerate moisture well because the ceramic coating protects them. They go on decking, they go everywhere. So we use a super expensive screw to do everything, and even inside. And those will last for a century.
But boy, are they worth it. They drive with confidence. You know they're going all the way in. It's not like your conventional Phillips screw. They're totally different world. It's a roofing screw. Roofing screw, that's a short 1 inch. It's got a neoprene gasket and a washer that distributes the weight. It's actually a little bit got a conical shape to it, so that as you drive it down, it actually compresses in and compresses the neoprene, and that forms a really good seal of that screw hole that'll last for at least what, 12, 15 years, something like that.
And that's if you use neoprene. If you use a rubber-headed washer, just a rubber washer, it'll last less than 15 years down in Texas. Now, to drive that quickly, you need to have something like this, because if you're up on the roof, you don't want to be pulling this around with you, or a corded drill, because you might get snagged up and the cord might get you. So this little baby right here will drive for an hour and a half, 2 hours, all these little screws in the roof or in the walls. And absolutely got to have a tool. Now this is the 36 volt, by the way. This is the big boy toy. This one will actually twist your wrist half off if it gets jammed up. So.
And now you're saying that this drill has as much power as that one, or thereabouts.
Almost,
right?
almost the same amount of power. It doesn't, I mean, this will run all day on electricity, but this will have to be recharged.
Yeah.
But this is the big toy that when you put the torque behind this and hold on to it, you can actually do it. In fact, it also has a hammer drill as well as a regular drill.
I think that's a pretty good introduction, but there's still a whole lot more to say about these, isn't there?
Oh, and there's more tools we haven't covered that you'll probably use, but if you have these, the others you're going to need are a few, and some of the shop tools, which we'll cover in upcoming episodes.
Yeah, we should also probably emphasize that all of these tools are going to come with safety manuals, and you need to read those very, very carefully. All of these things are very dangerous tools, and you need to use them and feel confident that you're using them safely.
Yes, and I'll give a precautionary word about that. This tool right here, used by the wrong person in one case, cost me $12,000 because he nailed this thumb and 2 of these fingers together with one of these tools and one of these nails. So they don't just work on wood, they work very good on human flesh. Be careful.
It'll ruin your day.